Hey double dip babes, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some long dip powder ombre nails using products from Double Dip Nails. I do already have my nails prepped how I want for this dip powder application. Make sure to follow a good nail prep routine if you do want your nails to last. I'm going to go ahead and apply my nail tips using dip base, which is number 2. I have already filed over the surface of the nail tips just to speed up the process a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and apply all of the nail tips onto the nails. When gluing nail tips on, you do want to make sure that you're gluing them on straight, especially if your nails are on the longer side, because if they're the slightest bit off, they're going to look very crooked, so just make sure to try to line them up as best as possible. Here are what the nail tips look like after they've all been glued into place. I am going to take these nail tip cutters. These are the measuring ones, but I did take that little piece off of the nail tip cutters, and I'm going to go ahead and clip down the length of these nail tips. For this manicure, I am going to be doing some pretty long nails, but you can do any nail length of your choice for this manicure. Here are what the nails look like after all of the nail tips have been cut down. I think this is the perfect nail length in my opinion. I love long nails. Again, you can do shorter nails if you don't like nails this long. For this manicure, I am going to be using the dip powder color 20, which is beige pink. I'm going to be applying this color with the dip base, which is number 2. And I'm going to be using this diamond from my dapping dish to prop my finger up. I am going to go ahead and do a solid manicure using the color 20. I am going to be doing the ombre scrub method, so I just want a good base for this manicure. To apply the dip powder, I'm doing a thin line of dip base. I'm then going to dip the nail into the dip powder. Because it was a little bit difficult to dip the nail into the dip powder jar, I am going to be taking the fringe tip dip powder tray and I'm going to be pouring that dip powder into the tray to dip my nails in. I am doing this because the length of my nails does make it a little bit difficult to dip into the dip powder jar. You can also do the pour over method, but personally I like to dip my nails instead of pouring the dip powder over top of the nail. I am going to be repeating the exact same thing for all of the other nails. The reason that I'm applying the dip powder this way is to build a small apex in the nail. This is what is going to prevent my nails from breaking since they are the length that they are. If you have very short nails, you don't need to do as many layers of dip powder or apply it in the same manner that I'm doing here. But again, I'm just trying to build a little bit of structure for these nails because of the length. If you have shorter nails, you may not need to build an apex in the method that I'm doing. Once that layer of dip powder is fully dry, I am going to take the mermaid tail fluffy nail brush and I'm going to be dusting away all of the excess dip powder from the nails. This step is very important to prevent contaminating your base brush. For the second layer of dip powder, I'm applying the dip base to a larger area of the nail. I'm not completely covering the nail yet because I'm still working on building up the structure of the nails. So I'm just applying the dip base to a larger area of the nail, and again I'm going to be dipping the nail into the fringe tip tray. I also want to mention that I'm going to be doing a total of 5 layers of dip powder. Again, if you have short nails, you don't need to apply this many layers of dip powder. I'm not specifically doing this many layers of dip powder for the color coverage. I'm mostly doing this many layers of dip powder for the structure of the nails. If you have very short nails, you can definitely do 2 layers of dip powder and that's it. Doing 2 layers of dip powder does give you the perfect opacity of the dip powder color, but again, I'm just doing this for the strength of the nails. Again, I'm going to be repeating the same step for all of the other nails. Since this step gets very repetitive, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking so you guys can watch the application process for these dip powder nails. As I said, I'm going to gradually build up each layer of dip powder until I'm able to fully cover the entire nail. At the fourth layer of dip powder, I was able to fully cover the entire nail, but again, I'm going to do one more layer just to get the perfect color coverage for these nails. If you are interested in any of the products that I'm using or showing, everything will be linked down below in the description of this video. You can also use the code KCNails20 to save 20% off of your double dip nails purchase. Even though my previous layer of dip powder did cover the entire nail, I'm going to be doing one more layer of dip powder over top of the entire nail just to make sure I have the perfect opacity for every single nail. Once the last layer of dip powder has been dusted, I am going to go ahead and take the activator, which is number 3, and I'm going to be applying this very generously to all of the nails. Without applying activator, it makes it very difficult to file and shape the nails because the layers of dip powder are not fully dry. It can also make your manicure not last as long. After the activator has fully dried, I am going to take a hand file and I'm going to be reshaping the edges of the nails. I'm not going to be doing too much shaping because I do like the shape of these nails. I am going for a slight tapered square nail, so I'm just going ahead and refining the shape of the nail. After the nail has been shaped, I'm going to file the surface of the nail as well, just to make sure I don't have any lumps or ridges in the manicure. This step is important to make sure the surface of the nail is as smooth as possible. You can also use an e-file for this step, but lately I've really liked to file my nails with a hand file because I have a lot more control over where I file the nail. If the nail is not bumpy at all, you can just use a buffer instead of using a hand file. Off camera, I repeated the exact same steps to all of the other nails. Here's what it looks like after all of the nails have been shaped and filed. Now we're ready to move on to the ombre design of this manicure. I'm going to be taking this base coat gel. This is from one of the polygel kits. You do need a gel for this method of ombre, and I'm just going to take this base coat gel and apply a layer to the nails. I am going to be doing my thumbs separately since the nail lamp is a mini lamp. When applying the base coat, you do want to make sure to fully cover all of the areas, especially where you want the ombre to be. So I'm just going to be applying a layer of this gel onto the nails. I'm then going to cure that layer under a UV LED nail lamp for 45 seconds. I find that this is the best time to cure the nails for this method. Here are the dip powder colors that I'm going to be using for today's ombre. You can use any dip powder colors of your choice. I do recommend that the color that you're trying to ombre is darker than the color that you have on the base of your nails. This first color here is the mystery color from the January mystery box. This is a really pretty yellow color. I love this color and it's perfect for spring. So I'm going to go ahead and get my fluffy nail brush. This is actually a makeup brush. I believe it's for your crease. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this and dip it into the dip powder color. Once I have the dip powder on the brush, I'm going to start scrubbing that product into the tip of the nail. Because the base coat does have a sticky layer, the dip powder is going to stick in that sticky layer and give you the perfect ombre effect for your nails. For this method of dip powder ombre, you do want to make sure that you're packing the color towards the tip of the nail, and as you're working your way back towards the cuticle area, you want to make sure you don't have as much product on the brush. This is going to give you the perfect ombre effect for your manicure. The next color I am using is number 19, and this is called Rose Pink. I do actually end up switching this color because it doesn't quite show up with the base color that I'm using. I did want to still include this in the video just to show you that you do need a dip powder color that is darker than the base color, or use a dip powder color that has more pigment than the base color. I did want to go for a pastel vibe for this manicure, but since that color didn't work, this is called Summer Pink. It's a very vibrant pink shade of dip powder, and again I'm just going to repeat the exact same step to do the dip powder ombre. I didn't remove the previous layer that I started to do, and this color still turned out just as perfect as all of the other ones. One reason why this dip powder ombre is so easy is because you don't have to worry about the dip base drying as you do with other dip powder ombre methods. The base coat gel is already cured, so you don't have to worry about the product running or anything, and it doesn't dry on its own, so you have as long as you need to create the perfect ombre effect, which is one reason why I really love to do this ombre method. It's also very simple. All you have to do is just pack the color at the tip of the nail, and without adding more product to the brush, you just lightly fan the color back towards the base of the nail. I do want to say that after you do the ombre, you want to make sure to remove all of the excess dip powder very gently with a fluffy nail brush to make sure that you don't have any excess dip powder on the nail. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process with the other 3 nails. Again, I am switching colors between each finger. For the middle fingernail, I am using the color Magnolia, and this is a really pretty purple color. Since this is a very pale purple, it doesn't show up as well as the other colors, but I do think this is the perfect pastel type of color for spring. For the index nail, I am taking the color Emerald, and this is a really pretty blue-green dip powder color. And again, I'm just doing the same steps for the dip powder ombre. I did end up doing the thumb separately since I was using the mini lamp. I wasn't able to cure all of the nails at once, so I am doing the thumbnail separately. I am just doing the same steps, applying the base coat gel and then cure that for 45 seconds under the nail lamp. For the ombre on the thumbnail, I am using the color DD576, which is fine ivory. This is a white dip powder color. I was a little bit nervous as to how this nail would turn out since the nude is a darker color than white. If you are doing baby boomer nails, which is the pink and white ombre nails, you do want to start with a white base first and then apply the nude color at the base of your nail, basically doing this in the opposite way that I'm currently doing it, and that will give you the baby boomer effect. But for this nail, I am just doing it this way, and I do think it turned out okay. After all of the excess dip powder has been removed from the nails, I am going to take a matte gel top coat and I'm going to be applying this onto all of the nails. When applying your top coat after the dip powder ombre, you want to be very gentle and not run the brush too hard over top of the ombre, otherwise it will mess up your ombre and you'll have to start all over. It is also best if you try not to go over the nail too many times. You want to do as few strokes as possible while covering all of the areas of the nails. I'm going to go ahead and apply the top coat to all of the other nails. I'm then going to cure the gel top coat under the UV LED nail lamp for 1 minute. I'm then going to take this marble mixing palette and I'm going to be using these gel liners from one of the gel liner collections. I did try to pick colors that are similar to the ones that I did the ombre with. This first one here is an orange, and I didn't have a yellow gel liner that didn't glow in the dark. I didn't want glow in the dark nails for the set, so I am going to take the white gel liner and I'm just going to add a little bit next to the orange gel polish that I put on the mixing palette, and taking a dotting tool I'm just going to mix those two colors together to get a lighter shade of this orange gel liner. We're just going to be doing some very simple beginner friendly flowers for this nail art. So to do the flowers, I'm taking the small side of my dotting tool and I'm going to be drawing some straight lines going towards one point in the nail. You can do as many or as few of these lines as you want. I just added quite a few of them and I liked how it looked. So once I have the flower petals, I am going to take the white gel liner and adding a bit of that to the nail palette, I'm going to pick up with the dotting tool and just make a small dot in the center of those flower petals. So that is the first flower for this nail design. I'm going to do the same thing for all of the other gel liner colors. I'm just adding a little bit of that white gel into the gel color just to lighten up all of these gel liner colors. Of course, for the placement of all of the flowers, I am doing them in different areas of the nail. I don't want too much consistency with this nail art design, so I am randomizing the areas and the placements of these flowers. As always, you can definitely customize this. You can do as many or as few flowers as you like. You can also do a much more complex, detailed flower if you don't want something as simple as this, but I wanted to make something that was very easy and simple for beginners to do. I am going to be repeating the exact same steps for all of the other nails. I do want to go ahead and mention that I'm not going to be applying a top coat layer over top of this. I do want the flowers to be shiny and the background to be matte, so I'm not going to be applying a top coat, but if you do prefer to apply a top coat, you can take a fine detail brush and apply the top coat only to the flowers. But that is very time consuming, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. So after I cured the flowers under the nail lamp, I did wipe away the sticky layer, and that is the finished manicure. And of course, after I have all of the flowers placed, I'm going to do a full cure under the nail lamp. And the last step is to take the cuticle oil and apply this generously to all of the cuticles. You do want to make sure to hydrate your skin after every single manicure. And here are the nails. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, you can click the boxes or subscribe to Double Dip's YouTube channel by clicking the circle here. You can also subscribe to my personal YouTube channel by clicking the circle here.